But cranking up the intensity was not the issue. It was just they have a little bit of quality in the final third, and we lacked a little ability to make a play when we needed to. But in terms of the match plan, the idea of how we want to play football, the idea of a bunch of guys believing in themselves and going after it and taking a top team who hasn't lost, and I don't even know how long, and taking them to the limit. We were the much better team in the first half and even the beginning of the second half. It was one play that made it 1-0. Otherwise, the game was ours. What a privilege our fans have had to root a team on like this, that goes after the game, that doesn't play defensive, that shows that they can be better, right? Of course, we have to be in these situations more and more, and then we have to find ways to succeed, and then we have to build from that. But what a great team. I'd rather be us than them. As good as Morocco is, I'd rather be us.
When you're playing against a team of this quality that, you know, it's not going to be easy, and even if you play your best, you're going to need a little bit of luck. And unfortunately, the ball just didn't go in the back of the net for us, and I would have loved to have seen that if we could have gone up in the first half, what that second half would have looked like. But you know what, hopefully that's for the next tournament.
What will you remember most from this World Cup? Lessons that you can take moving forward?
Oh, this is memories I'm taking with me forever. It's unbelievable what the emotions wearing the jersey.
It's devastating because I think we all believe that we could have got more out of this game. So obviously it's devastating, frustrating, you know, but we have to be proud of what we accomplished, you know. We're getting better with the years, and yeah, it's just sad to go out like this.
We felt always the love back home from the Canadians. I think we're finally a soccer country, man. We need this support to go forward. We're going to enter another cycle of 4 years. The youngsters here, they need you guys' support throughout the 4 years, so that we make sure that we can go even further in the next World Cup.
In training, I felt a little bit something, but at the end of the day, me and Jesse had a conversation. He said, like, if I feel 100%, I told him no, to be honest. Obviously, we want players on the pitch that are 100% to play the game and 100% to give everything, and I felt like, you know, I wasn't there yet, and so this is why we made the decision.
He felt a little bit yesterday morning. He just felt a little bit unconfident on his hamstring, and so we went and got an MRI, and thankfully there wasn't anything there, but he just didn't feel right, and he didn't want to jeopardize or risk anything to like stress himself. So, you know, I mean, for Alfonso, we have to understand, like, he's learning to trust his body again. You know, he's been through a lot over the last year and 3 months. So as much as he wanted to play in this game and we wanted him to play in this game, we just didn't want to risk him. So, you know, it's obviously unfortunate, even at the 60th minute, which was our original plan going into the week, that he would be available for 30 minutes, 35 minutes. But he didn't feel right. So, you know, I was completely supportive of him and didn't want him to risk anything that might lead to injury.
Jesse Marsch may have known about these stats before delivering his spirited post-game interview. You may be surprised to see that Canada's expected goals total in this match was higher than Morocco's. Canada also had 11 corners and conceded just 1. Well, Wes, we've heard Jesse Marsch give some impassioned post-game talks to his side, calling them heroes. But what he said after this Morocco loss, I'd rather be us than them, to me is just a rally cry that will just propel the squad to the next World Cup.
Obviously, they want to be to the next round, but you get the sentiment. So much growth in this tournament, a lot of accomplishments. First World Cup win, first knockout stage appearance. This team is clearly on a positive trend line. With more on this inspiring run, let's go to James Duthie and the panel.
Thank you. One final time alongside the captains Atiba Hutchinson, Julian de Guzman, and Kevin Kilbane. We knew this would end at some point, that Canada wasn't likely to knock off 4 giants and hoist the World Cup. But it still hurts because this last month was so much fun. The scoreboard reads 3-0 Morocco. But how close was Canada, and where are your emotions right now between the disappointment of today and the pride of what they've achieved?
A lot of emotions. You know, we were so good in that first half of this game. I felt like, yeah, we can go through and get a big result in this game. You know, I thought, this is our chance, man. We're playing so good, top football. These guys look confident. In the end, we didn't get that result. You know, the second half didn't go our way, but look at the big picture. They played very, very good throughout this tournament. They turned a lot of heads in Canada. They got a lot of new supporters in Canada. The excitement is there now in football in Canada. That's what we wanted. That's what we were hoping for in this tournament. We said very early on, 16 is the round we want to get to. We got there. In the end, we just fell short. But overall, these boys should be very proud of themselves. It's a fantastic turnout, and they've really stamped their foot on the global game of football.
The first 45 minutes for me was masterclass. I mean, that really showed the identity as to what Jesse wants to see. Now, that just has to be on repeat. We weren't able to do it for 90 minutes. That's something to definitely grow from. But to do that in the round of 16 at a World Cup, I mean, that's just hard to believe, and that's something that we still have to pinch ourselves for many, many years to come. But it's going to take a lot of work to continue to stay at that standard, right? And I think that 45 minutes, Kev, was amazing to watch. There's a moment where you tell yourself at halftime, can they keep going? Can they do it for 90 minutes? And if so, then we're talking about a different story about maybe we go to the quarterfinals. Maybe we're going to Massachusetts to play a quarterfinal match. But, I mean, overall, we have to be proud as to how the guys, did their best against a giant like Morocco.
Yeah, extremely proud. Were we believing that at halftime? Maybe we were, because of the first 45 minutes and the performance that Canada put in. But it will come down to the finer detail, and we can look at that later on down the line about why they lost that game. But if you look at the tournament overall, from Toronto to Vancouver to LA and then down into Houston, it's been an outstanding success for the team, for the program. I think Jesse Marsh has done a fantastic job with really bringing new fans on board as well, new supporters, young girls and boys watching the experience and watching Canada play in this tournament, James. I'm sure it will have a knock-on effect to the next generation.
Yeah, he kept saying he wanted to create a movement, and I think they created a movement. We'll get more on exactly the lasting impact of this in a couple of minutes, but let's get to the bones of the game. Jesse Marsh said they were the better team than Morocco. You guys said it. They were for 45 minutes, but what went wrong early in that second half?
Well, we got in at half-time and we were looking at it going, just continue, play the same way. And two halves are rarely ever the same, but we were looking at it with the hope that could happen. I think Unai, he took over the game